The medical car and the leading car are ready. Cars that are on the grid are ready too. Mikon Nukia will take no part in today's race as the field moves away on the final formation lap before round 6 of the FIA World Touring Car Championship. Hopefully nothing in the fact that Thiago Monteiro moved relatively slowly away from his grid spot. He's now back in front of Rob Huff, our race 1 winner, and a very disheartening view from Alain Menu. That starting at the back of the field is never good news.
I was just about to say, I hope we've got a good camera in Alain's car, but you know, he's just got to keep a clear head. He must be gutted after race 1. He's, you know, it's a rough thing, but he's just got to try and clear his head and see what ground he can make up, and you know, hopefully he's on for a stonking race.
I tell you what, look at the calendar. If somebody said, I'm going to start you at the back on the final row of one race this year, you have to choose the track it's going to be.
Yeah.
This would be the track. You're never going to choose to start on the back row, but this would be the track. In yesterday's World Series race, again, don't forget, identical cars, from 26th to 6th position, Daniel Ricciardo. All right, he had 45 minutes to do it, but he made most of it up in about 12-15 minutes. At the slipstream here, you know, Menu, without question, has got a very fast car. Lots of slipstreaming, long straights, it's a wide, fast track. He's got potential here to overtake like no other track in the calendar.
We've just got to hope his car's all straight and he can fight, you know, give it a good fight.
Absolutely. As Eric Nev, Rupert Mannering, the head of the commercial arm of RML, in the back of the garage as well. Ray Malek will be with the mechanics on the pit wall at the end of the first lap. Everybody in blue there, looking as the rest of the teams are up and down the pit lane with nervous anticipation at their screens. Cars in the formation lap weaving around the historic Parkland circuit of Monza, famously in the Royal Park in this town north of the city of Milan. There is Ray Malek, as ever, looking just a little nervous before the getaway. Thiago Monteiro's yellow and black Seat Leon TDI leads the field. How many times have the Seats led the field over the last few years? But at the moment they don't have necessarily the best car. Doesn't mean they don't have the potential to be a winning car here. Here at Monza, all sorts of magic can be at work. Christian Poulsen, good starting position for him as well, in 7th place on the grid. He leads the Yokohama Trophy from Javi Villa and Norbert Michelis, who have squeezed themselves ahead of Darrell Young with some good results. Darrell also having a good run in the yellow Bamboo Engineering Chevrolet. He starts this race in 6th position, as he did race 1. Rob Huff on pole for race 1, which he won under real pressure all the way through, and he now starts on the outside of the front row for race 2. 9 laps of the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza, and Matt, it was a massive high tension race in race 1. Some overtaking up and down the order, but the battle for victory was a real nail biter, edge of the seat one, and I don't think this is going to be a walk in the park for anyone.
Yeah, it's who can get off the line first. The diesel Seat's got some more torque to get away from the line, but
Oh no, that's just a frozen image. I thought Robert Dahlgren had pulled off, but no, that was just a bizarrely frozen image. Here he is. Well, that's good news. They want to lose the Volvo either. But it was parked on the way around the Parabolica. That would have definitely been an aborted start. There is the Volvo then. Yes, it's
whoever can get down to that first corner first, it's going to depict the whole race.
The problem then is that they're going to be the sitting duck in the targets of everybody behind them. Winning it into the first corner doesn't mean winning it out of the last corner. At Monza, of all tracks, that much is true. The cars are starting to form up on the grid. Our pole man closest to the camera, Tiago Monteiro, and Aluminiu, who should be starting in 5th place after damage in race 1, is down at the back of the grid. Fingers crossed in the Zengo team, as their man Norbert Michaelis will start in 8th position. BMW driver just off the podium in race 1. It's Monteiro and Huff on the front row. BMWs from 4th on back. Very slow start from Daryl Young in the yellow Chevrolet. Loads of wheel spin. Huffy's got alongside. Muller's being swamped. There are BMWs everywhere around Ivan Muller. Poulsen with Michaelis behind him. Down the outside comes Javi Villa. That's the first of the BMWs. He's in the danger zone though, as we expected. Huff leads there safely. Oh, Huff jumped the chicane and straight through goes 25. Mehdi Banani. He'll have to give loads of places back. He's going to be very slow. Coronel goes around the outside of him just about, but loses ground. And Huff leads, but he's going to have to give that lead surely or risk a penalty, and you can't fight a penalty after the race. You can always fight to take the lead back after you've given it away. Coronel around the outside of Michaelis. Huff from Monteiro. Poulsen in 3rd. Oh, and again it's another Pro Team car, this time 20, as Javi Villa goes straight through the Ravazza. And so too did Daryl Young, who is in all sorts of trouble. He's plunged like a stone down into the mid-teens as everybody swarms by him. Wow. And somebody's got action damage behind their tyres, smoke pouring off the back of one of the BMWs, I think, and it looked like somebody went off in the background there as well in Lesmo 2. Meanwhile, Huff still leads. Is he going to give it back, Matt?
Well, he was in front when he went over there, so it's not as though he used the shortcut to get past anybody. So
gaining an advantage by exceeding the track limits. You don't have to overtake. Think of Lewis Hamilton. Gaining an advantage. That is the critical phrase. He was no closer, Monteiro, than when Huff jumped the chicane. He was further away. Huff had an advantage. Muller swings round. Now it's academic. Huff can't give the place back to Monteiro. That option has gone. Now he's got to run away and hide, so that if he does get a time penalty, it will be mitigated by his speed. If he gets a drive-through, an active race penalty, then he is really in the kibosh. Where's Menu?
Well, he's
16th to 13th. No, Muller's going to make sure of that unless Monteiro can do something about him. Tarquini, incidentally, there 7th ahead of Engstler and Villa. Well, it's going to be tough on Rob Huff if he does get a penalty, but we'll have to look at a replay. My thinking is it may easily be judged that he gained an advantage by exceeding the track limits.
Well, I think he was in front, so...
He was in front, but he was further in front by shortcutting the chicane. If that is judged to be the case, there could well be a penalty. And now he doesn't have the option of slowing down and waving Monteiro through without giving the win to Muller.
Yes, it's a difficult one, that, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, and that was Tarquini and Villa. Or Engstler, no, Villa, I think. And was it Tarquini? It was red and white. I think it was Gabrielli. I'm afraid.
No, it wasn't.
No, I think it was. Oh, no, maybe it was Freddie Bart. Maybe it was Freddie Bart and Mehdi Banani. They were 11th and 12th. And there is Tarquini, and behind him is Engstler. Where's Villa?
Yeah, I think it might have been Freddie Bart.
There's Engstler, there's Daryl Young, there's Villa. In that case, it was Bart and Banani. And again, Mehdi Banani started 5th, was 12th, now in the barriers. So, Menu is currently, was 13th. He's at the back of the train there, hidden from view. Coronel and Michaelis. Norbert hangs on in front of Tom. That is the battle for 5th position behind Christian Poulsen.
Muller's reeling Huffy in as well.
In fact, that was Michaelis passing Coronel, and here comes Tarquini on Tom. So Huff and Muller 6/10 apart. Muller a 1 minute 59.3. Now we see what the Chevrolet can do when Muller's got his tail up. He doesn't want Huff to get even further ahead in the championship. Now the pressure is going to be on Rob Huff to try and win this one. Monteiro 3rd, Poulsen in 4th, ahead of Michaelis and Coronel. 3 BMWs, 4th, 5th and 6th.
Yeah, Muller took almost a full second out of Huffy that lap, and he hasn't got to look back and worry about Alain now. You know, all he's got to do is concentrate on drafting and getting past Huffy, and Huffy is going to have his hands full because, you know, Ivan's going to be very mindful. He's had no win this year, you know, and Huffy's getting away in the points, so, you know, he's going to want to stamp his authority back in the team.
And Menu comes past Javi Villa. That is for 10th place. He gets in front of the Spaniard. And again, Villa's race hasn't gone quite the way he would have hoped either. Well, he's already passed Bart. Now he's in front of Javi Villa. So he's gone from 12th to 11th to 10th in one sector. That's not bad progress, is it? This is lap 3 of 9. Oh, was he ever not going to be trying? Now we're going to see what these Chevrolets can produce. 38.2 first sector for Rob Huff, 37.9 for Ivan Muller. That's what the slipstream is doing. And Menu, incidentally, 38.2 first sector as well. Really flying.
Unfortunately, I think the writing might be on the wall for Huffy in this one.
Huff has got to just, you know, middle and leg and take his defence, because Muller is going to attack at every single corner. But Huff has to make sure he always has to go the long way round. Muller on the inside, but he can't because Rob's got the momentum. Rob takes the inside line. Muller now must go the long way, and he's not been in the slipstream long enough to really benefit. This is both engines howling away, and Huff is trying to defend and get some clean track under his tyres as he brakes as late as he humanly dares and just gets his nose back in front. We've got 5 more laps of this after this one, and it is going to go all the way to the line. Huff and Muller 7/100ths of a second apart at the line, and there's Montero in third with Poulsen and Michaelis attacking him. The leaders come down to the Ravazza. Huff from Muller, and Montero is really in the firing line. Look at this. Christian Poulsen wants a podium. Michaelis in the orange and black car, who was 4th, really wants a podium. Tarquini can't get stopped for the Ravazza and goes the short way through it behind the 3 BMWs. But again, all eyes are going to be torn between the battles up and down the order, and that for the lead. And it is all about whether Rob Huff can do what he did in race 1, cling on for 9 laps of relentless attack. Oh, Matt, it's going to be another. His mum and dad and sister and everybody are just going to be holding their breath and everything crossed, because this is going to be a really tough win if he can
Whoever
cling
wins
on.
this out of these two is going to earn it.
Yeah, no question. And again, you know, Muller, if it was a rival team, a rival manufacturer, could just lean a little bit more. Having had that incident with Menu in race 1, he daren't get into the same situation in race 2. Behind, Michaelis and Poulsen are working the inside line to try and tow up behind Thiago Montero. There are the leaders, and Montero is just in front. Michaelis and Poulsen may fall into squabbling with each other. Look at the orange and black Zengo BMW. It's got the tow. Is he going to pull out and look for 4th place as Muller tries to go again around the long way? But again, Matt, coming a long way down the straight before he even gets alongside means that Huff's defence is possible. Oh, behind Montero and Poulsen.
Around the outside.
Yes, over the curbs, and Poulsen and Michaelis had to take avoiding action. Poulsen was never going to be able to thread in there. Montero was always going to go apex to apex and force the Dane over the curbs, and so he did. And Coronel's now in there. These 3 BMWs, are they all going to finish this race, or is Montero going to hold them off and then cause them to tangle with each other? Again into the braking area, Michaelis so close. 4th in race 1, he's 4th now, he's got the run. He's got the run as Montero skates wide. That seems to be the door open, and up the inside comes Poulsen. Oh my goodness, and Michaelis gets a little tap into Lesmo 1. Looked like he, I mean, how can you miss a gear? It's a sequential box. He's got a problem. Poulsen's got a problem, and I don't think it's just that he skated wide onto the gravel.
No, Michaelis has got the problem.
Sorry, Michaelis, right, yeah. Poulsen's gone through. Thiago Montero pulls out of the way as well as Coronel goes alongside him, and behind is Darrell Young coming up the order. And in the foreground is the battle for the lead. Huff still from Muller. Poulsen into third. Michaelis is back in the hunt, maybe.
Would this be Poulsen's first ever podium?
Ooh, outright. It might be. On board with Tom Coronel, coming out of Ascari onto the Rettifilio, down to the Parabolica, and again around the outside. Huff just easing towards the grip, making sure that Muller has to run that extra 5, 6, 7, 8 meters through the Parabolica. That's enough to stymie his momentum and just keep him behind.
Well, Muller's just trying to get the cut back on him and get the momentum out the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. And here comes Michaelis. He's around the outside of Darrell O'Young's Chevrolet, the Bamboo engineering car on the inside. That is the battle for I don't know what position now. Michaelis was 6th at the line, inches in front of Darrell O'Young then. In fact, he wasn't. They are shown as being identical times across the line. Huff still leads from Muller, from Poulsen, from Montero, from Coronel. The second of those yellow cars is O'Young back in front of Michaelis under braking.
And Menu's made up some good time. He's made up time on the leaders, to be fair, about a second, but he's still back in 10th.
Well, he's in 10th. He's a second behind Engstler, Tarquini, O'Young, Michaelis and Coronel. He's on the back of this train. You can see the Chevrolet. Look at the top of your screen if you can tear your eyes away from the Michaelis-O'Young battle. Menu is there. He's going to slipstream his way up the order here like a 125cc motorcycle race. He now has to jump a car on every straight. This is lap 6 of 9. He's not got an awful lot of time to get himself into the points, but he has got enough time. Well, Huff and Muller were a 10th apart at the line. They look barely any further apart now. Poulsen and Montero, that is a done deal. Montero in 4th place, defending us. They fan out behind. Michaelis and O'Young and Engstler. Oh my goodness, Tom Coronel giving us a great trip through the Ascari chicane. Montero just squeezing away in front of him.
Now is Muller, I was thinking then, is Muller resting his tyres and having a bit of a... Well, he's not, he's pushing him.
He's locked up behind Rob Huff, and Rob held that one again. Now, he had a big tap from behind in a slide in race 1, didn't he? And he held on there. And I tell you what, there's going to be some backside kicking going on if Muller has Huff off. That is not going to be well received anywhere, I don't think. He will be not just driver number 1 on the door, but public enemy number 1 as well. It'll make for a very uncomfortable atmosphere in the blue-shirted team. Huff leads from Muller. That drama is over, but 3 more laps of it potentially to come. Poulsen in 3rd, best BMW, and 4th Montero, 5th Coronel, 6th Michaelis. Menu got in front of Engstler to the line. He's in 9th place now, 1 from the points as the replay shows Muller under the back bumper of Rob Huff. He locked up there into the Parabolica, and Huff did a fantastic job clinging on to that. And all the way back, there is Alain Menu right behind Gabriele Tarquini. And he's now in front of Tarquini. Menu in 8th and well in the points. Tarquini hanging on here. This is Menu going past him. The incident between 18 and 15, Montero and Coronel. I don't know if you saw that. I have to say I didn't notice what was going on, but they'll be looking at that. So Tarquini now under pressure. Engstler and Via coming at him. Oh dear. 1 down either side. That's a bit of a no-win situation. Gabriele will just sit off the brake pedal as late as he dares, but Via's through anyway.
It's like Gabriele he's got down on straight line speed or something this weekend. There's something not right at all. Something
ails that car, and perhaps not having the turbo engine here in the end might turn out to have been a bit of a mistake. Chevy's 1st and 2nd, Poulsen 3rd, Montero now 4th, Coronel 5th, and Michaelis, O'Young and Via. Everybody is streamed by Tarquini. Black and white flag for car number 1. That's a warning about driving standards, and that'll be as a result of running into the back of his teammate. We could see how hard they were trying, Matt. He was fully locked up as he ran into Huff into the Parabolica, And I don't think Rob would have been braking easily and early.
You could see from the rear view from Rob's car that it lifted.
Yeah.
You know, so it was obviously a fair old hit.
Yeah. But you don't punt somebody by locking your wheels up and hitting them from behind.
Then he did have the inside line, and Ivan might have backed off because he couldn't be seen to be taking a position like that. So, you know, he is trying to play the game. You know, he's not being a hooligan or anything.
If he was going to punt him,
but he's got to try.
He wouldn't be locking up punting him. That's an error. That's Ivan getting in deeper than he could actually cope with, and the car. And again, maybe it's just the slipstream. Maybe it's just taking a little bit too much away from the splitter that makes the wheels lock that fraction earlier than Ivan was expecting.
Well, Huffy is fighting tooth and nail, you know, to hang on in there, and so, you know, if Ivan is going to do it, he's got to fight for it. And it's great to see, to be honest.
The Freddie Bart's miserable weekend continues, I'm afraid. He was in 12th. He is at the side of the road. The only way that Ivan can't actually take the lead is by going through Rob. He can go round him, he can't go through him. And unfortunately, going round means that you have to be quicker.
As long as he sits there, it just takes one mistake from Huffy. One mistake. He's got to drive such a tight race.
Yep. 9 laps of pressure from first Muller and then Menu in race 1, and Huff kept his guard up. Again, you know, he won't be feeling relaxed even remotely now, but he will be feeling confident. I did it in race 1, I'm doing it in race 2. And again, he makes sure that Muller has to cover an extra 3 or 4 or 5 car lengths around the outside, and there's no more advantage than that. Now, Menu's in the middle of that bunch. Young takes a little twitch. Menu goes with the Chevy. They're going past Mikulits. Again, Huff braking in extremis. You can see the car barely able to keep it straight. And Muller that time under control, piling on the pressure. Coronel goes through and hangs on to 5th. Young still in 6th, Menu in 7th. Coronel drifts out wide, a chance for the Chevys. Menu has to go the long way round. That door is closing. No, Young's got his nose in front. Here's a chance for Menu. He's getting a little bit of a boost because Mikulits is behind him. Oh, and Coronel's got a puncture. Coronel's got a right rear puncture. That's from contact earlier on, but Menu goes up into 5th position, and Mikulits goes through into 6th with him. Some great racing in this track, and I don't know if Tom knew he had a puncture there because he just shot straight through the Ravazza, and with that unladen right rear all the way around Curva Grande, probably till he put his foot on the brakes and not much happened.
He'd know about it.
Well, he was fighting on anyway. Now he knows, and that's the end of the road for the Dutchman. Huff and Muller still just a whisker apart, but it's action all the way in this battle now, and I think Menu's probably got as far as he's going to. Paulson's 3rd, Montero's 4th, but Alain is 5th. Last lap for Rob Huff. And they fan out. Darrell Young throws it at the curbs on the inside. That's a great move, Darrell. What a great move. It's like Fuji in the rain, isn't it? Any line will do. Huff on the inside. Last chance, surely, in the parabolic of the Muller. No cutback. Rob was too tight in. He's too tight out. Muller's got to sprint to the line, but Rob Huff goes right out to the white line and shuts down that avenue as well. It's a double race win for Rob Huff. Alain Menu in 5th position and Ivan Muller in 2nd, so all the Chevys in the points despite the starts of the problems at the start for Menu. Paulson 3rd, Montero 4th, and behind Menu everyone else is in 6th position. Young, Mikulits and Villa are in top 8. Tom Coronel losing out in that one with that last lap puncture, but the Chevrolet boys are happy. He's done it again.
Do you think Huffy's a little bit pleased?
No kidding. And
Ray's just relieved. well,
yeah, absolutely. And a busting drive from Alain Menu as well.
That was a monstrous drive from Menu up to 5th.
But the boys, any of these boys, you put their backs against the wall and you will see absolutely the best out of them. You got that from Huff and Muller. And you got that from Menu as well.
But Menu, good racecraft.
Yep.
Good racecraft getting through the traffic.
Well, do you know what? You know, when you start at the back like that, there's so much potential for disaster in the opening lap or two. But this isn't a 45-minute race. This you have to get on with. You can't take your time, as Daniel Ricciardo could in the World Series race. Menu pushed as if he was trying to win the race from the back.
Who was saying Alain can only win races from the front?
Not
like that, he can't.
Not me. No. I've seen too many good recovery drives from Menu over his career, and he's got every ounce of speed still in him.